There's a lot of international friendlies that have been taking place this past weekend, and we'll be looking at the results and some of the fixtures that you can be able to place your bets on. But for now, though, let's kick it off with the PSL.
Welcome back to the show. Now let's talk about the PSL, starting off with Sundowns and Cape Town City. Now, Sundowns, a team that have been crowned champions 4 times in a row, but in their ranks, they have 2 players that have been crowned champions 8 times in their careers. 8 PSL trophies, whether it's DStv Premiership or DStv whatever. The fact of the matter is that these guys have 8 titles sitting at home, whether it's in the form of medals or they get little trophies. But Teres Onyango and Hlompo Kekana winners 8 titles.
8 titles. I mean, that's a lot of titles. And I did say that we spoke about them not too long ago as possibly the few that, or the first few that we'd add if we're to talk about a PSL Hall of Fame, you know. And I mean, they won their first 3 at they won their first 3 while at SuperSport United, and came through to Mamelodi Sundowns to win the rest of them, you know. So it's been an impressive career. I mean, you didn't expect Hlompo Kekana to be, you know, a player who is you know, boasting so many trophies. Besides the fact that he played, you know, for only like 3 teams. He played for SuperSport United, went on to play for Bloemfontein Celtic, now finds himself at Mamelodi Sundowns, but he's won so many trophies. I mean, it's been such a blossomed career filled with nothing but success for him.
I mean, the club itself has 11 titles over the history that they've spanned in the PSL. 11 titles, just minus 3 from that, and you find what Hlompo and Teres Onyango have. I mean, it's amazing to think that in the PSL, in South African football, we have players that have achieved such. It's a malicious feat, you know, that's a lot of trophies for one player. So do you think that Tentley should be worried about people coming for that title he holds, the most trophies in South African football?
I don't think anyone's going to trouble him at this point. I mean, looking at the players who are, I mean, unless Sundowns go on and Hlompo kind of stays at Sundowns despite the season he's had at this present moment. I mean, he hasn't played quite a lot of games. We have been saying that. But, you know, we're looking at the players who have pretty much so many trophies, and they're also pretty much the same age as Dane Clayt. You know, I think Clayt might have retired he might be regretting that he retired a bit early, you know, because he played with the Hlompo Kekanas and Teres Onyango while at SuperSport United. But I don't think, you know, they should worry, and he should be worried unless if Sundowns go on next season and get another trophy. Then he can start, you know, thinking about, my record is going.
Well, then Peter Shaulile missed out on the golden boot by just the 1 goal. Now, the fact of the matter is this. He was chasing it from a very long time ago, because at some point, Hamaldine was sitting in second and it was Grobler at first. But towards the end of the season, with the last few games to go, it was Peter Shaulile, it was Grobler on top, and Kutumela was sneaking in between the 2 of them. But it looked like Grobler did manage to get across the line with 16 goals at the end of the season, with Peter Shaulile with his 15.
Yeah, just crossing the line. I mean, you have to really, you know, amplify that just, because it was just, you know, because you look at the game that Sundowns played yesterday, and you look at Shaulile. I mean, he was so motivated to get, you know, that hat-trick yesterday. I mean, he could have scored 4 goals. I mean, he missed 2 very good chances one he had in the first half, which could have opened the scoring for Sundowns and for himself, but missed it. You know, in the second half, he scored a brace, and he hit the woodwork as well, you know, towards the last minute of the game. And I'm saying this because, you know, I'm saying he was pushing for this hat-trick, because after he scored that second goal, it looked like it was a goal that he's scoring, you know, looked like consolation. I mean, he went on, picked up the ball, and ran with it straight to the middle of the field, you know, to get the game restarted again, showing the hunger of, you know, wanting to be the top goal scorer of the PSL. But it's unfortunate that, you know, Bradley Grobler, you know, snuck away with it. I mean, he had an impressive first half of the season, did Bradley Grobler. Injuries kind of, you know, kept him away from trying to break past that 20-goal mark. I mean, it was his goal at the beginning of the season to break past that 20-goal mark, but it's just unfortunate that he couldn't get there as well.
So do we have a list of these players so we can see who's actually scored these goals, OB.KNOWS? I just want to know who's sitting at the top, because I hear that Peter Shaulile had over 30 goal contributions with 22 goals and 8 assists. But who else makes it onto the list for the top goal scorers?
Well, it is Bradley Grobler sitting at the top of the list of the goal scorers, and he's followed by Peter Shaulile with 15 goals. And then, as you can see there, Thabiso Kutumela sitting there with the 12 goals that he had scored for Maritzburg United. And Ruzé Hamaldine, well, he hit like a handbrake along the way in the season. I mean, he's been stuck on 11 goals. And Themba Zwane there, 10 goals this season. Another reason why I did say that Themba Zwane didn't really improve from the player he was last season. I mean, no, fully respect to Themba Zwane. I mean, he's been great for Mamelodi Sundowns. But I do feel like this season, if we are trying to put him into that category of the player of the season, I don't think he fits the bill to be the player of the season. I think there's so many other players who had a fantastic season more than Zwane did.
All right, let's move on to the chat of the weekend, and that's Kaizer Chiefs versus TS Galaxy. Well, if you ask ask me, a lot of people have rumors about what went down yesterday. But the fact of the matter is this: Kaizer Chiefs in the top 8 and TS Galaxy sitting out this top 8 next season. Now, the biggest question always remains when you look at a situation like this: TS Galaxy were in the driving seat. Goal difference was -4 for both of them.
Yeah.
But Kaizer Chiefs came in, won 1-0. Their goal difference sitting on -3, while, as you can see, TS Galaxy sitting on -5. The question is, I mean, TS Galaxy were in the driver's seat.
Yeah.
They were in control.
Yeah.
They had a 3-point difference. They were sitting in 8th position by the time the ball kicked off. How did they let this one slip?
Well, look, Mo, I think it has to go all the way back into, the question of whether players, ready to be at such a stage. I mean, yes, they have, TS Galaxy as a team already have managed to beat Kaizer Chiefs at the finals of a Nedbank Cup,
But different coach,
final.
different players.
Yeah, it's a whole different ball game right now. And Kaizer Chiefs, I think a bit highly motivated by, the win that they got, the 3-0 win that they got the 3-1 win rather they got in midweek against Golden Arrows. So 3-2 rather. But I do think that Chiefs were a much better outfit than what Galaxy were offering. I mean, Galaxy played into the hands of Kaizer Chiefs. They were not in any way trying to compete with Chiefs in terms of the aerial balls that they were going to get. They allowed Chiefs to get down the sides. They allowed Chiefs to get the crosses in. So I think if anything, they just allowed Kaizer Chiefs to play them. And I think Owen Degamo will be very disappointed. I mean, this is the second time in a row that he's missing out on a top 8 finish, and it's on goal difference. So I think he'll be a bit disappointed with that one. But it's unfortunate that they couldn't get over the line. But a very good season for TS Galaxy nonetheless.
So my biggest question then remains: is it a lack of sense of occasion? Because if you ask me as a manager, if I'm looking at this is the last game of the season, no one else going to affect the fact that we finish in the top 8. Top 8 opens up an opportunity to play in a competition that will bring additional money to the club, giving the club enough funding to get more players. I would have went in there with a defensive mindset. I mean, even Mo on Mo Sports said that will it be a goal from Castro from a corner? Obino says no, it was a goal from a throw-in.
Yeah,
a throw-in.
Yeah.
So if you know Kaizer Chiefs, well, most of their goals come from aerial duels, and that always suggests one thing: set pieces. Prevent these guys getting set pieces in your half, in and around your half, so that you can keep them out of the box. I mean, if you look at how they've been performing around the past 2 seasons, it's always been an aerial ball.
Yeah.
It's always been a cross from the edge of the box. I mean, midfielders from Kaizer Chiefs, they go out wide just to throw in crosses, which tells you the kind of style of play they have. Yeah. It's not like they're going to beat you on the ground. It's not like they're going to outplay you on the ground, man-to-man passes. No, they're going to throw the ball in the box, hope for the best, and look at this. This goal actually came from a deflection.
It came from it was not a deflection, rather it was played on to Castro, Nukovic rather, It was coming from a throw-in, and it was headed to the far post by a TS Galaxy player as well, So he nodded it right to the back, and it was won by Samir Nukovic. And like I'm saying, they've let Kaizer Chiefs play, the football they were very comfortable with, which is going out to the sides, getting the crosses in, and let's defend, So it was disappointing from TS Galaxy. Like you are saying, is it a sense of lack of occasion, the lack of sense of occasion or whatever you said. But all I'm saying is they were not at the level that you would expect them to be, knowing that their destiny is in their own hands. I feel like they should have been a much better outfit. I mean, they should have troubled Kaizer Chiefs a lot more. Yes, they had a couple of chances. Bruce Vuma again picking up man of the match yesterday as well, so it was impressive from him again. So look, it's another conversation we should be having next season. I'm just wondering if they'll be able at least to keep up with the standards of the PSL. Will they invest a lot more into the team and improve it for next season?
The biggest problem is that the PSL is improving. I mean, you look at the KZN clubs, whether Royal AM come in or Kukune or Richards Bay, any of those clubs will come in with a different sense of quality to the league. And what we've seen this season is teams that quite don't have the sense of urgency that other teams had. I mean, it was a slow start for almost everybody else in the league, while Mamelodi Sundowns ran away with it as usual. But looking at the league itself, I quite feel like teams like TS Galaxy had the opportunity to finish top 8. Now, Kaizer Chiefs go in there, they finish on the same amount of points as them, better goal difference, they go into that top 8, which says to me that you, at some point, I mean, you have to start thinking to yourself and say, look, this is an additional competition, this is additional money. Whether we play against the Kaizer Chiefs, Orlando Pirates, Mamelodi Sundowns, the result is needed, and we need to play the strategy, we need to play the philosophy that will get us the result we need. This is a team that plays aerial balls. What do? We mark up high, force them to run at our goalkeeper, and what we do, we keep the defensive line high, we keep the offside trap high. Make them run. Make them try and run at our goalkeeper.
Yeah.
Make them work harder from further. Because if they try to play it long, they won't get it into the box. They'll get it in behind the defense, between the goalkeeper and the defense, and they won't get the accuracy in the long passing that they'll want to get to sneak that behind the defense. So I'm looking at that game and I'm thinking to myself, maybe with the coach, maybe the technical staff with their video analysis, they need to go back and say, okay, but why are we investing so much in coaching and video analysis if we cannot look at a game of Kaizer Chiefs and be able to put up a philosophy and a strategy that can keep them out and we get a result?
I think one of the biggest things that they were looking at was the last match the Chiefs played. I mean, you look at the goals that Manyama scored. I mean, he was found in the box, and you look at the first goal as well. Katsande, even Katsande had to go down the wing. He went down the wing, went towards the byline and cut the ball back in, and Manyama got the goal. And same as the other goals, it was pretty much the same thing. Get to the byline, get the ball back into the box, and let someone run onto it.
But how's that rocket science? I mean, if I'm playing against you, how is that rocket science? I know. All I need to do is prevent corners and play a high line. I'm good. I'm good. I'd rather beat me from something that I didn't expect you to do. But something that you were going to do anyway, I get touched at that. Now let's go to the website and go see how the results panned out before we move on and talk about the MTN8. I know that everybody at home is like, I've SMS Super TV to 30978. When do I get to see the website? Well, here it is. Let's go, OB.KNOWS. Let's go to match info. Or first, we have to log in. So as you can see, 2 buttons there at the top right, register and log in. So OB.KNOWS is going to click on login. We're going to say username. It's going to say, who are you? We're going to say we are at that ETV3. Then we're going to log in. Brillianto. And then what we're going to do is going to go straight to match info. We do check out some of these games during Super Tracker with OB.KNOWS, and he was looking at some of the game's live results at that time. He made a couple of bets. Very brave man in South Africa. His name is OB.KNOWS. Let's go to South Africa.
Right.
Let's go to
Sundowns one.
All right, this is how it's going down at this moment in time. This is how the league actually looks at the end of everything. Now that the dust has settled, Mamelodi Sundowns, they have confirmed for a very long time now, they are now the champions. Behind them is Amazulu. They're going to play continental competition next season. Joining them in the continent is Orlando Pirates. They want to take another crack at the Confederations Cup, which they effectively deserve. As much as a lot of people are saying that they've had a bad season, like OB.KNOWS did point out yesterday, they managed to win the MTN8 and they came in and got 3rd place. How bad is that? Maybe change managers, but how bad is that? Golden Arrow sitting in 4th with 47 points, and Super Sports on 45, with Swallows on 44, sitting in 6th, with Cape Town City sitting on 41 points, and Kaizer Chiefs joining the top 8 and wrapping up the top 8 with 36 points. Level on points with TS Galaxy, who are sitting in 9th, and they have a goal difference of -5. Baroka sitting in 34 points. Bloom Celtic sitting on 32, with TTM sitting on 31, Würzburg United sitting on 30, Stellenbosch sitting on 29 points, and Chippa United and Black Leopards are sitting in those 2 relegation spots. Chippa United still have to wait to see who they play against in the playoff spots, but it's just a formality at this point in time. They're just waiting for the boardroom heads to decide what's now going to happen with this with football next season. But looking at the teams that wrap up 10th to 14th, those are all dangerous teams in their own right. I mean, looking at Bloom Celtic, they didn't have the worst of seasons. TTM, after all the drama they were embroiled in, they managed to pull their socks together and have a good finish to the season. Maritzburg United started off very slow. They were sitting in the relegation spots for most of the first half of the season. They managed to pull it all together and get out of the relegation zone. Stellenbosch, a team that we were talking about just yesterday, saying that maybe the financial muscle of where they are based could come into play sooner or later, maybe next season or the season after, when the investors maybe decide, you know what, let's just start knocking on doors and do like a door-to-door drive. Let's put the website away, OB.KNOWS. Let's talk about the MTN8. Now we've seen who's finished in the top 8. Who is facing who in the MTN8?
Well, so what usually happens with the MTN8 is that the team at the top faces the team at the bottom. So so it is going to be the number 1 will be playing against the number 8. So basically what I'm saying is Chiefs are playing against Sundowns, Amazulu will be playing against Cape Town City, Pirates will be playing against Swallows in an all Soweto derby, and then as you can see, Arrows will be taking on Super Sport United. And that's how it's going to be looking at the beginning of the season, next season. And I think some pretty mouth-watering encounters. I mean, the last time that Kaizer Chiefs played against Sundowns in the MTN8 was when Stuart Baxter was at the helm for Kaizer Chiefs, and that match ended in a 4-0 win for Mamelodi Sundowns. That was Stuart Baxter's first match as a Kaizer Chiefs coach, official match as a Kaizer Chiefs coach. And guess what he did that season? He went on to win the league.
All right, let's take a break. When we come back, we'll check out what's happening elsewhere in European football.
You're locked into Super TV, only on OpenView, channel 150.
How to register a new SuperBets account. SMS Super TV to 30978 and you will receive an SMS with a sign-up link. Click the link you receive, which will direct you to the SuperBets mobile site. Click Login. On the pop-up, click Register Now. Fill in the required details on the form, from your ID number all the way to your contact details. Be sure to choose a strong password that you will remember. After filling in your details, click Submit. In a few minutes, you should receive an OTP if your details were entered correctly. Back onto the SuperBets mobile site, type in your OTP. In a few seconds, you will receive a welcome SMS confirming your new account. A 50 Rand sign-up bonus will reflect in your account within 24 hours of your sign-up. Welcome to our family. SuperBets, bet with the biggest.
Cece, why so jealous? Just SMS Super TV to 30978 and get lucky yourself.
Big dog status, I'm a big dog vet. I pull up on the block in a big Corvette.
You are watching Super TV, Open View, channel 150.
Welcome back to Mo Sports. If you're just joining us, you missed out on all the local action. We covered up what happened in the PSL. And now we're moving on to Europe and seeing who are the top achievers of the respective leagues around Europe. Welcome to the show. My name is Mo, and sitting across the table from me is Mr. OB.KNOWS himself. And our job, as usual, is to talk all things football. Now, let me remind you of the Mo riddle before we continue and go ahead with everything else that's going to come up on the show. The Mo riddle for today reads as follows. Did I read it? Did I not read it? I did not recall. But if you have the answer to the Mo riddle, the number is 071-621-4746. Now, all I know is that, let me just see. He's a Spanish international who made it through the ranks at Barcelona and spent 11 years as part of the first team. He left in 2001 to join Brescia, later joining Roma, and then retired at Dorados in 2006. Now, it sounds like El Dorado to me, but who am I to say? If you have the answer, the number is 071-621-4746. Now, let's continue with the show. Let's talk about the top achievers from every league. Now, we start off with the Bundesliga, a league where Lewandowski has been the leader in everything. So, before we get into who won what in that league, I just want to take the people through all the categories that Lewandowski did dominate this season. He dominated the goals with 41 goals he scored this season. He dominated the shots with 137 shots he took at goal this season. He hit the post 5 times. He took 9 penalties. He scored 8 of those 9 penalties. I mean, you look at the stats and he is just everywhere. I mean, if you don't look at anything to do with goals, you're looking at shots, you're looking at everything. He dominated everything. But this guy, he wins Player of the Year in Germany, and then the young player of the year goes to Jude Birlingham. I thought Musiala, if he had more games, Musiala, if he had more games, he would have won that award. And then coach of the season goes to the coach for Frankfurt for obvious reasons.
Yeah, I mean, Eddie Hatta was, he brought in a bit of change that was needed at Frankfurt. I mean, I did say that Frankfurt are a team that have invested so much, into their squad, but with not enough success. And this season at least, they managed to get themselves into European competition. I mean, they're going to be playing in the Europa League, not exactly what they would have wanted, but clubs like Borussia Dortmund, they don't want to miss out in this competition. I mean, they knew that the only way they could keep their superstar was if they got that Champions League football, and they did. So it's just unfortunate for Frankfurt, but I do think that if they can keep up what they were doing this season and do it again next season, they might just find themselves lurking into those Champions League spots next season.
All right, let's move on and let's go talk about what's happening in La Liga with their award prize giving. As usual, I feel like this one writes itself. I feel like if whoever's doing the award ceremonies for La Liga, he has the easiest job in the world. And ask him, who is player of the season? Miss on all of us. So Messi wins player of the season. Young player of the season obviously cannot be taken by Messi, so it goes to Alexandra Isak. And then old player of the season. What is old player of the season?
What, so
Senior player of the season.
Senior player of the season, I guess. I didn't know that, we had such an award, but in Spain, clearly they do,
Of course,
and,
let's come up with an alternative award because Messi's racking up everything.
And I'm thinking, like, how many times did Atorith win it? I mean, Atorith probably won it like gang times. I mean, he's like 40 years old now. he's been scoring headers. Just throw him in the last minute, say cross, header, goal.
Remember that goal that Atorith scored against Barcelona?
The overhead kick.
Yeah, the overhead kick. I remember the memes that came out of that goal. There was someone who had like the whole of Barcelona tried to crack open a safe, and then Atorith came in on a stick, and he was like, and it opened. At his old age, Atorith, he's the Quagliarella of Spanish football.
Guardiola still plays quite a lot,
Yeah, but
Atorith is a person who just comes in the last minutes of the game nowadays. But the old player of the season award had to go to Iago Aspas, and Iago Aspas for me.
How old is Aspas now?
Aspas is the same age as Messi, actually. They're 33.
See, that's what I'm saying. When you have to come up with an alternative award because Messi's racking up everything, this is basically what's gonna go down.
Yeah, then that's exactly what happened. As you can see, there's the list. Player of the season going to Lionel Messi. The young player of the season going to Alexandra Isak of Sweden and Real Sociedad. And the manager of the season, no surprise, they're going to Diego Simeone.
Signing of the season.
Signing of the season, Luis Suarez. And worst signing of the season, Miralem Pjanic. How is this even allowed to be an official award ceremony type of category? I mean, signing of the season, okay, yeah, it's fine, but
worst signing.
Like that, everybody knows that you're the worst signing of the season. I mean, come on.
But yeah.
No, Mo. No.
But yeah,
No.
I feel like
let us pundits talk about it.
No,
let us say that Mans is the worst signing of the season. Don't put him in an award ceremony.
Do you not think it's a good award?
No, I think it's a terrible.
At least when I was on Zoom, you didn't have to go on a stage and go collect.
Nah, my guy, still thought. I mean, it's like it's not like wooden mic. Wooden mic at Idols. You can I got the wooden mic. I was on TV. But when you Miralem Pjanic and you sign for Barcelona and you get the worst signing of the season.
No, but the thing is, they're looking at the value of the player, they're looking at the reputation of the player, they're looking at how much impact he had this season. I mean, there must have been worse signings, but not of that caliber, not of that reputation, and not of that, I mean, it's Miralem Pjanic.
If anything,
Pjanic.
it should be falling onto Barcelona, not onto Pjanic. Pjanic.
No, but you can't just say worst signing of the season, the club. No, it's Pjanic.
No, my guy, we can't do that. We can't do that.
They gave away worst manager of the season.
What about? They didn't give away worst manager of the season. They didn't do that. Why didn't they do that? They should have done that.
Who was gonna get it?
Pellegrini. I'll say why. He's had a good team. Like Frankfurt, that side, they put a lot of investment into that team. I mean, you bring in a Nabil Fekir, a player who's been looked at by Liverpool, by Manchester City. You bring him in, you've got William Carvalho in that midfield of yours. You've got one of the best centre-backs from Arsenal, Mark Bartra as well, in there. I think you should have done a lot better with that team. But
let's carry on. Let's see the rest of the list. Best goalkeeper in Spain is obviously Jan Oblak. And then Jules Koundé gets defender of the season. Casemiro gets midfielder of the season. Never mind who's playing around him, and then Lionel Messi gets the top. But looking at Serie A, this is what's happening. These are the award winners of knows. Let's see if you can read all those names. Starting with that first one, Dusan.
Best under 23 player, it's Dusan Vlahovic, and I'll tell you why he's the best. Best goalkeeper is Gianluigi Donnarumma, and then the best defender is Christian Romero, who is from Atalanta, and then you've got Nicolo Barella as the best midfielder, and then best forward is Cristiano Ronaldo, and they needed to give this guy a trophy somehow, and they said he's the best player overall, Romelu Lukaku. And
now apparently Chelsea wants him back.
Yeah, of course. Why not?
No, but Chelsea have Giroud. You must understand. You must weigh your options. World Cup winner, Europa League winner, Premier League winner,
20-goal striker, 5-goal striker.
Let me explain. It's not a... Wait, hold on. Super viewers, let's use OB.KNOWS' words against him. Remember when you said that, no, you must take players like Maguire and Jordan Henderson to the Euro because of the experience they bring.
Yeah.
That is my boy, Giroud. That is Giroud.
You've got Thiago Silva already.
What? He's getting game time. Giroud is there to inspire the players. Giroud's telling everybody, look, I've done this before. I've won a World Cup. I've won a Champions League. I've won a Europa League.
Please,
Where were you? Big Peggy, and I'm big Mabon. Imagine.
I'm talking about international level, my guy. I'm talking about international
But club level as well.
Club level, you already have Thiago Silva. You've got
No, but
who's
hold
been
on,
part of
hold
this
on,
team, my
hold
guy.
on, hold on. Club level, if we're looking at the striking
can't
department
justify
alone,
this.
if we look at the striking department alone, Tim Abraham is young, Kai Havertz is young, Ziyech is young, Werner is young.
Yeah.
Then you have Giroud, the old head.
Okay.
He doesn't need the game time. He needs to affect the mindset. You know, he needs
Cool.
to. Now, when we bring in Romelu
Okay,
Lukaku.
so why are you fighting me as if I said that Giroud should leave Chelsea?
No, I'm not fighting you. I'm just saying that. Real recognize
Guys
real.
are
Real
attacking
recognize
me.
real. Yeah?
Guys are attacking me. Why are you attacking me?
Imagine when Giroud becomes a coach. Imagine, like he's been sitting, he's already practicing on how to watch the game. He's sitting there, he's watching, he knows how to watch the game now. He can be a great manager. But all I'm saying is your boy has won everything to win. I mean, in world football, OB.KNOWS. If we, 10 years from now, somebody was even saying, 10 years from now or 50 years from now, you have to explain to your kids that Giroud was not as good as his numbers are saying. Because your kids will be like, but dad, he won the World Cup, the Europa League, the Champions League, the Premier League. He's won everything.
I mean, look, we can't say Giroud's not as good as... Giroud's been a quality striker since his days at Arsenal.
Okay, I hear you.
But what we should be explaining is not his quality. Rather is how many games was this guy getting?
Okay, I get you. But 2050, OB.KNOWS will be sitting there with his grandson. His grandson will be saying, but dad, Messi doesn't have a World Cup. And you'll have to explain to your son why Messi, the GOAT, doesn't have a World Cup, why Giroud, the GOAT test.
You see what my thing is, Mo? My thing is, Nam, that if you can ask any of my personal friends from outside there, now, when we're having football conversation, we're talking about strikers. I'm a person who wants a classic number 9, right? And your classic number 9 is your Olivier Giroud. Your classic number 9 is a Romelu Lukaku. Your classic number 9 is your Kingston Nkata. You know how much I love Kingston Nkata at Kaizer Chiefs? Although he was missing quite a lot of goals, he gave you problems. You know, he's a striker who will give you problems. He'll make you think as a defender. And that's my favorite type of striker. Like, yes, I want someone who's very mobile. I do want someone who's mobile. You know, someone who can be stuck into any
But
position.
you're not understanding what I'm saying.
What are you saying?
What I'm saying is how you going to explain to your grandchild that Messi
It's not going to be what I'm saying is that it's not going to be difficult for me.
Giroud has everything. He has a Europa League, Champions League. If he goes on to win the FIFA Club World Cup and the Super Cup, Giroud has alles, boy. He has alles. You can't even have that argument with your grandchild. Just be like, yes, son, he was a GOAT. He was a GOAT. Let's move on and let's go see the Premier League. Let's see if Giroud ends up in this award list. So player of the season obviously has to be Ruben Dias for his impact at Manchester City. Then Pep Guardiola, he has to win that. Josep Guardiola has to win that manager of the season. Young player of the season, Phil Foden. Arguable, but okay. And then goal of the season goes Eric Lamela. You know, that's what you call impact.
I think the most
That's what you call impact from
Eric
Eric Lamela.
Lamela.
Yeah, that's what you call impact.
From what?
One game, one incredible goal award.
Okay,
You know what I'm saying? That's what you call impact.
Okay,
You don't need 36
you
games.
remember his first Rabona goal, right?
Yeah, I remember,
in the Europa League.
Yeah.
At White Hart Lane.
Yeah.
Which one is the better one? The one he scored against Arsenal or that first one? Well, that first one was outside the box, my guy.
Yeah, that first one was
You
hard.
had to curve it, my guy.
The first one was hard,
You know?
yeah. But at the end of the day, who scored a better goal in the Premier League?
Yeah, I think
One game, one incredible goal
it's him.
equals award. That's what you call tactic.
My questionable, the player of the season for me is questionable.
Ruben Dias.
Yeah. Look,
I'm happy that it's not a striker. If you have to ask me, I'm just happy it's not a striker.
I mean, it was Virgil van Dijk not too long ago, so I don't really kind of get you trying to revolutionize defense. Defenses must be praised. Yeah,
No,
it's
no,
fine.
but you know why?
What I'm saying is, Harry Kane was top with assists, top with the top goal scorer as well. I think that is a full season, an overall great performance, my guy. Whether you are creating, whether you are scoring, my guy, this guy was at the top of his game.
Look at me preparing my caller so I can ask you a question of note. Carry
Okay,
on.
sharp, ne? And then
No, don't move on.
No, I'm not moving on. I'm not moving. I'm staying with the awards, right? I'm trying to say where Ruben Dias should have got the award. Where he should have got the award for me personally.
Young player of the season.
Yes, that's where he should have got the award. I mean, you
But
should have given Harry Kane.
They had to
my
make more space for Phil Foden. Let me talk to you about Harry Kane.
guy. English media.
Let me talk to you about Harry.
Are you gonna say he doesn't deserve it?
No, hold on.
Are you gonna say he doesn't deserve it?
Hold on. I'm not gonna say that.
Moral of the story.
I'm not gonna say that. Hold on.
okay, cool.
Answer this question. Does he have a title now?
Why does he have to get a title to be the best individual player?
Does he have a title now? Did his efforts give Tottenham Hotspur a title? In fact, wait, did his efforts give Tottenham Hotspur a top 4 finish? Okay, wait, at least a Europa League finish. Oh boy, titles are everything, boy. When when you come look at the game at the end of the day, Ruben Diaz, without Ruben Diaz, there's no Manchester City title. There's no Manchester City Champions League final. That's why he's player of the season, because of what he did for the club. If you know what, guys, you know what we'll do? You know what we'll do? We will make a team tournament for these guys, because OB.KNOWS wants Kane to get an award. And then we'll say, play 1 against 1. Whoever wins will get player of the season. 1 against 1. This is a game of 11 men, plus a bench, plus technical staff, a whole team, OB.KNOWS. I feel like at the end of the day, what really weighed heavily in Ruben Diaz's favor is that his impact managed to win his club the league. They won 2 cups. They wound up in the Champions League final, something that Manchester City have not been able to do. That's why you see a dominance in the awards from Manchester City, because they haven't been able to win the Champions League, but they made it to the final.
That's fine.
With Ruben Diaz.
That's the best way you can justify, him
but
winning.
take nothing away from Harry Kane. He had a brilliant season.
Thank you.
I'll also say he had a brilliant season. I mean, to top the last player to have topped both those charts was Thierry Henry. Invincible season. So what are you saying? He was hot. But all I'm saying is OB.KNOWS. Titles win you titles. Thank you for joining us. Let's take a break. When we come back, we'll continue this conversation.
You're locked into Super TV. Only on OpenView, channel 150.
Sabawali winning ticket. Now ungapopa with Super Bets. Simply SMS Super TV to 30978 and start playing.
You are watching Super TV, OpenView, channel 150.
Hello and welcome to Mo Sports. Now, you just joined us after we talked all the awards around Europe, and we also talked about local football. This is OB.KNOWS. The man who's laughing hysterically across the table from me is Mr. OB.KNOWS, and this is Mo Sports. You can catch us also by searching for us on Facebook or on YouTube, and you can stream us live on those platforms. You don't always have to watch us on the TV screen. Let's move on and let's talk about the international situations and talking about the Euros. But before I do that, I got carried away. What is the Mo riddle about today? Well, I didn't read it. I don't remember reading it, but you can read it for yourself. And once you have the answer, you can send that answer through WhatsApp to the following number, 071-621-4746. If you know who this player is, if you know what Dorados is, then you can definitely send me the answer on that following number. Don't forget to SMS Super TV to 30978 as well. But let's move on. Let's talk all things football, more specifically international football, more specifically the Euro 2020 in 2021. OB.KNOWS, let's talk about this tournament. It's coming up in 5 days. I mean, it's countdown time now. Everybody's excited. Everybody's eager. Everybody wants to see this thing kick off. Who are your favorites for the tournament?
You asked me this like 3 shows ago,
And you didn't have an answer.
I've been like thinking about it. I'm like, I know who's gonna get it, right? Firstly, I think the final, ne? I'm gonna give you. Okay, let me just give you semi-final. Ne? I'm gonna give you semi-final. My semi-final, ne? Semi-finalist number 1, France, and I'll tell you why. Benzema, right? Semi-finalist number 2, Portugal. Ne? Clear. I mean, come on, you don't need to debate that. Oh, golden era, boy. That's the golden era boys right now. Semi-finalist number 3. I might just figure England in there. Semi-finalist number 4. Semi-finalist number 4, Germany. That's my top 4. Who are you shocked by?
Everything you
Who's
said.
surprised?
Everything you said.
You surprised France are in there?
Everything you said.
Okay.
I can't believe you mentioned France without mentioning Giroud, but it's fine. I forgive you.
Is Giroud gonna start a game? Is Giroud gonna start one game?
Does Benzema have a World Cup now?
Is Giroud gonna start one game now?
Does Benzema have a World Cup now? Giroud won the World Cup without scoring a goal. Do you understand that's like you going to work as an accountant and never touching a calculator, but still getting the accountant of the year in the industry? That's crazy. Like you didn't even touch, you didn't even score a goal, but you won the thing.
You're creating spaces for other people, dog.
That's the thing. He's just crazy. That's for me is like crazy. That's like you come to work to be a pundit and not saying anything.
But you had problems with Timo Werner doing that. You had problems with Timo Werner.
I was proud of Timo Werner doing that because he won the Champions League from his movement.
I'm saying that you're only proud of him then. All this season long when you've been saying that, nah, my guy, check the movement.
No, but I was complaining when Lampard was the manager. After Lampard left, I was Team Werner.
Nah, boy. But it's been the same.
Literally, once he left, I was like,
he has not changed, boy. Nothing's changed.
No,
from
all
Werner.
I'm saying is, after, because remember when Thomas Tuchel got there, I asked the question
did Werner start scoring goals?
No, he started moving a lot better. That's what he did.
He still moved better. Lampard was not there.
Lampard played him everywhere. I think at some point Lampard was like, maybe you're a left back. Like Lampard was just like, you should play every position until I figure out what this is. It's like, you know, when somebody buys you a Rolex and you don't know what it is, so you borrow your friends and talk it's too heavy. But it's made of gold encrusted. You don't know these things. So let's move on. Let's talk about it. So OB.KNOWS.
All I'm saying is, Benzema's still a better striker. Doesn't matter what you say. Doesn't matter what you say. How many trophies does he have? What? In fact, how many trophies does Giroud have compared to, you know? And how many individuals does he have? Like, how many golden boots does he have? How many? Like, we should do this comparison because all you can talk about is Giroud's World Cup.
So
I'm hurt.
Let me do this. What I'm gonna do? I'm gonna buy Josie Dudek's book, and I'm gonna bring you that copy, and I'm gonna highlight certain pages for you where they talk about Benzema, and I'm gonna give it to you. And then you'll understand why I rate Giroud over Benzema.
So you're gonna tell me that Benzema is not a good striker because he had a time when he was mischievous.
No, not that. You haven't even read the pages. You think you know. You don't know.
But that's what Jude was complaining about.
What is he complaining about?
He was complaining about him and his friend Lissandra Diarra and saying that he was ill-disciplined when Lissandra was there. Was he lazy? Was he late? Did he come late for training? Did he miss training?
You see what happens?
Did he miss goals?
This is what happens when people think they know. Let's go to the website. Let's go see what the website knows. Don't end your name with a nose. This is what happens. Let's move on. Let's go to the website. Let's go see. OB.KNOWS, scroll down to. No, wait, don't scroll down. Go to match info, please.
Scroll for yourself.
You don't ngala. Come on. Do the thing. Go to match info. Oh wait. Go to Euro 2021. Let's go see. There it says 749 markets there. Down under soccer. Yebo. There it is. Games. Let's go to games. They want to see tournament specials as well because I feel like it's going to be a lot. So these are the markets that are available. On the 11th of June, Turkey take on Italy, and we can still start betting on that game now. So we're definitely going to give it to Italy. First game of the competition. We're going to give it to Turkey.
What?
We're going to give it to Turkey.
Fully in.
Okay, it's fine. We'll talk about this once we're done making this bet slip. Put your bet there for 50 rand. Because I don't trust. Even if I put a clip up. Just to say it with your chest.
But we can't bet on one game, boy.
That's a game that's taking place on one day. We'll bet on the Mountain Bet Slip on the 12th. Just press continue and okay. You come back. Don't panic. Just press continue and okay. See, even this thing's like, you don't know what you want. You press continue again. It doesn't want. So as we can see, then Wales face Switzerland while Denmark face Finland and then Belgium face Russia. Now, okay, it's fine. Now we see that the fixtures. Let's go to match info quickly. Match info, statistics. Let's go to Tiski. Not handball. Let's go to international. Let's go look for UEFA Euro. Then we go look for the groups. The tables. There we go. So this is what's happening in terms of the table situation in this tournament that's coming up just in the 11th of June to the 11th of July. Italy face Switzerland, and Italy are in the same group as Switzerland, Turkey, and Wales. Favorite in this group for me would have to be Italy to go through, but yet again, in the past few international tournaments, they've been a very disappointing outfit. And like we said, right now they don't have a squad of big internationals that we can point at. Let's go down. Let's go see what's happening in Group B. Group B has Denmark, Belgium, Russia, and Finland. I mean, Belgium will be happy not to see England in this group. They're tired of facing England in European competition. Let's go down. Austria, Netherlands, North Macedonia, and Ukraine. It's going to be an open group in terms of the other three countries involved.
Including Netherlands.
Yeah, so we'll have to wait and see who then basically takes up that first and second spot. Let's go down. Croatia, Czech Republic, England, and Scotland. So it will be a very interesting group based on the form of England and Croatia. And Czech Republic, a very tricky customer. They might sneak themselves into that second position. So it's a game that is it's a wide open group. Like Obi knows, saying that Group B is a wide open group. Let's go down. Poland, Slovakia, Spain, and Sweden. Wow, okay. Lewandowski is involved in this group with Spain without a striker, also involved in this group. And then we'll have to wait and see who finished. For me, the top two might have to involve between Spain and Poland. I think both of them would be involved, but don't forget that Ibrahimovic is back. He's back again into international football. Then there's France, Germany, Hungary, and Portugal. Now, group of death. This is the group of death. Because one must die, well, between France, Germany, and Portugal. And if you remember, Obi knows his three favorites are involved in here. So he made four favorites. The only favorite that's not involved in here is England. But France is involved, Germany is involved, and Portugal is involved. Let's see this Benzema's value in this group. Let's put this away, Obi knows.
Germany is not going to make it. Yeah.
Germany is not going to make what?
Yeah, no, they won't make it.
Okay.
That's going to be the surprise of this season. Yeah.
Germany won't make it?
Yeah.
Okay. You think Kante can carry a whole France?
What?
Okay.
Is that a question?
It's just a question. I'm just moving.
Is that a question, bro?
Is it wrong to ask?
Kante.
Okay, let's move on.
Let's talk going for Kante.
Let's talk about international.
And Pogba. And Benzema. And Dembele. And Griezmann. I'm telling you, favorites. Ooh, Mbappe. Oh, nah, my boy. Nah, playing games.
All right, let's talk about international rules. Obi knows. What are the rules saying right now about players playing for their native countries?
Well, the laws have been changing for so many years. I mean, in the mid-20s, mid-20th century, we had Puskás and we had and Di Stefano, Alfredo Di Stefano. So they both represented two different nations. So back in those times, you could represent any nation if you wanted to. So if you were born in South Africa and you're playing your football in Australia, then you could represent Australia if you wanted to. And if you felt like, I want to represent Mzansi again, you can just go back. Then a few years later down the line, players were not allowed to. So if you're under 21 and you played in the youth national teams, you're not allowed to change to another country, right? And then the rules then changed again to what we commonly know, and you can play, in the youth development of a different nation. But then when you get to a national team when you get to the first team national, then you can choose to play for any nation. And we've seen it so many times over the years. We saw with Jack Grealish. He could have represented Ireland, but decided that he's going to represent England, although he played for Ireland in the youth and national sides. And then more recently now, the law has been changed once again. Now it's changed to now that you can play 3 games for a national team. So if you've played for Bafana Bafana and you've played for 3 games and you decided, I want to play, for Zimbabwe because I'm from there, then you can, change to Zimbabwe only after you've played no more than 3 times in international friendlies, or if you have played in international competitions like your Euros and your World Cups, then you're not allowed to change allegiances. But at this point, it looks pretty positive for African diaspora because you look at countries like, for example, Jamaica. Jamaica is a country that has lost so many talents to England. I mean, you're looking at the English national team now, and they've got the likes of Raheem Sterling in there, you know, and Raheem Sterling is, you know, he's known as a Jamaican descent, a person with Jamaican descent, rather, you know, and we're looking at a squad which can have a lot more talent into that. And the reason why I'm speaking about this, because Jamaica was the main focus in this study, to say that Jamaica might actually just make it to the World Cup once again. And they're saying this because of this rule. This rule means that they could have Leon Bailey, who's already in that team. He's been a great player for Bayern Leverkusen over the years. He's part of that Jamaican national team. But Mikel Antonio is also now changed from England to representing England, and now going to represent Jamaica. And we're looking at other players like Tony Ivan Toney, rather. We've been talking about him last week. He recently gained promotion with Brentford, had a brilliant season in the second division of English football. He might just be looking at, you know, representing that Jamaican national team along with the likes of Damari Gray. So we're looking at something that could just revolutionize football in terms of how African diaspora teams could participate. They could participate more in international competitions, and we might just see African countries also, you know, rising to the occasion. I mean, Morocco is also one of those teams. They've got Mounier. Remember Mounier from Barcelona? He's now also playing. He was a Spanish international, but swapped and went back to play for Morocco. So it's going to be positive for some African countries. I mean, some of the players who are growing and developing in other countries can now kind of like decide, once they've felt, you know, once they've got to a stage where they can decide their national team, once they're playing, you know, for the main national team, they can decide, you know what, I don't want to really play for France. Let me just rather go represent, you know, Algeria or whatever country I'm from. And I think it's positive for the African diaspora.
All right, let's take a break. That was a lot.
You're locked into Super TV. Only on OpenView, channel 150.
Probably SMS Super TV to 30. And click, you can also score big by simply SMSing Super TV to 30978.
Even Ishumi can change your life. Now ungapopa with Super Bits. Simply SMS Super TV to 30978 and start playing.
You are watching Super TV, OpenView, channel 150.
Welcome back to Mo Sports. Now, if you're just joining us, you missed. In fact, if you're just joining us, you saved yourself. OB.KNOWS had a lecture on international relations in terms of the new rules of international players. And the main focus of the case study was Jamaica. And all I was thinking was, have you seen that movie Cool Runnings?
Cool Runnings.
Yeah, so you know the movie.
Yeah.
Only 10 years from now, when you're 2050 again, after you explain to your child why Giroud is not a GOAT and Messi is, then you'll have to then explain to him what Cool Runnings is, because he'll be asking you about the movie that's coming out in 2050 about Jamaica's national side that won the World Cup. You know what I'm saying? You have to explain to him why all these players came from. Yeah, it's going to be a very interesting 2050. Welcome to the show. My name is Mo, this is OB.KNOWS, and you're tuned into channel 150 on your open view code at Super TV, powered by Super Bets. Let me give you the Mo Riddle real quick before we get ahead of ourselves. The Mo Riddle reads as follows. You can read it for yourself. Let me give you a number where you submit your answer. The number is 071 6214 746. And if you think you know football that well, that is the number where you need to just submit your answer, and let's see if you know football that well. Let's talk about transfer news. As you know, I'm not the biggest fan of transfer news because I hate how much, transfer news is like, I don't know, it's like, when they promise you something and it never gets delivered. Like, imagine if takealot.com sent you an SMS saying your package is on the way. And then when you look at the package, it's like a 60-inch screen. And you lose your mind, guys, I'm getting a screen. Then the address is wrong. Then they have to send it to another address because your address was completely wrong. That's how I feel about the transfer window. But let's hear what they have to say this time around. OB.KNOWS, I hear there's a player that opted to go to Aston Villa over Arsenal. Do you think maybe he got the wrong address? Do you think maybe he's thinking that Aston Villa are the invincible? Or look at the Champions League titles, like which team is the Champions League?
I think it's got to that point where history just doesn't matter anymore in football.
Really?
I mean, yeah, I think we get into that point where history just doesn't matter anymore. I think we're growing into a time where other teams are making history. I mean, your Manchester Cities are making the history now. They're winning so many titles. I mean, we are living in someone's prime time right now. I mean, like someone is looking at the game right now and saying, dude, this is the big team right now. It's normal like us when we were growing up. Barcelona was the big team. Real Madrid was the big team. These were the big teams that we know. I think now everyone just wants to play football. And it's like basketball, for example. You're saying something that back then the stars would go to certain teams. Right now they're scattered all over. And I think that's what we're gonna get to when it comes to football because you're looking at how the players are moving. I mean, you had a chance to go to Arsenal. You're speaking about Emiliano Buendia here, who's been courted by Arsenal for the past 2 seasons. I mean, the season when.
But also, it's unfair. Your statement is very fair. I give you that. But what I find unfair about this certain case, in particular, Arsenal is a burning house, dude. Everybody knows that Arsenal is on fire. Like everybody can see that Arsenal is not the team. I mean, first of all, they got Mikel Arteta as the manager. This player then opts to go to a different team. I mean, looking at the signings they're making, they're not even making sense. The players they're making are not working. The players they come from development are working. It's a team that's on fire. So I understand what you're saying, and I don't discredit it. All I'm thinking is that this man looked at his options and said, looking at Aston Villa's last season, this season they're coming out of, they're the better side compared to Arsenal. And that's where I think I'd go because eventually we might get ourselves playing in the Europa League or we might get ourselves playing in the Champions League. But let's move on to the next story. We don't have enough time, OB.KNOWS. Let's talk about what's happening at Manchester United.
Jayden Sancho. Another again. It's if I'm always saying it's like the 3rd season in a row now that they're looking for Jayden Sancho, and this time around it seems like it might be possible because we do remember that earlier on before the season ended. I mean, Dortmund did come out and say that they're looking to offload Sancho, not offload rather, but if they were to sell him, they were not going to have the same asking price as they had the season prior because if I do remember well, they had it for about 120 to 150 million. But at this point, they're looking to sell him for about 100 million. Same thing that PSG were actually doing with Kylian Mbappe. So I think at this point, if Man United can, meet the demands that Dortmund are looking for, then they might just have Jayden Sancho in their team.
I just want to see that unveiling. There's an unveiling video of Ronaldinho doing his thing, juggling the ball, putting it behind his neck and everything. And there's a video of Braithwaite. And he take out 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and tried to do a run around the world and it all went down the drain. And then he couldn't post out the ball from there. All I'm saying is I can't wait to see an unveiling of that. But OB.KNOWS, I agree with you. I'll have to say, with Jayden Sancho, I'll believe it when I see it because there's been so much speculation over time. I even saw an offer that was cartoonized of Manchester United coming with 90 million and a shirt saying, "What's up?" But we'll have to wait and see. I mean, even Cavani changes the whole dynamic of that signing because they don't need him as much as they needed him the season before. They just came out of the Europa League final. It's not like the Manchester United of 2 seasons ago. They're a better Manchester United. But now, let's see the answer for the Mo Riddle. I'm very interested to see who this is because, wow, who is this guy?
You'll be shocked.
Let's see who he is. Pep Guardiola. Josep Guardiola. Pep Guardiola played soccer.
What?
So that's the answer for the Mo Riddle. His name is Pep Guardiola. You guys know him as a manager, but he once was a footballer. He also played in Italy when he played for Roma. Well, that's the end of the show. Anything you want to say before we wrap it up?
Just really excited to see, what the PSL are going to do. I mean, the season is concluded right now. We're still waiting to see what's going on with the playoffs. And we should actually have someone from either of the teams that are involved in the court dispute currently in the NFD to come and let us know what the situation is because I'm really interested to see see what's going to happen. I mean, are we going to have an increase in the teams and in the PSL? Is this going to be sorted out in the courts? I mean, as far as we know, Sekhukhune should be getting their 3 points and they should be the champions. But that's not what's going on right now. So it's going to be very interesting to see what's going to happen in the next week.
Well, thank you for joining us. We'll see you again tomorrow from 1 to 2 p.m. here on channel 150 on your OpenView decoder, Super TV, powered by SuperBets.
You're locked into Super TV. Only on OpenView, channel 150.
Hi guys, my name is Elise Musasana from Broad Street Branch. Catch Super TV on OpenView, channel 150. You're pleased to play.
Let's go.
Let's go.
You killed today's food. Moses, you know me and I trust you. Moses, did you pray? I forgot. How many times should I tell you to pray before you eat? Father, I thank you for the... Moses. Ma? Go pray and sleep. No, I can even praise and worship. Moses, go pray and sleep.
Moses. Vamos.
Mos, how do you forget?
I would have told if you were talking to me, how was I supposed to remember?
And you know the way Moses bit in is like, is in a conversation.
When the one playing the piano is your ex. Okay. Let's hear this skit.
This one likes to stay.
The amount of sabotage.
Oh my goodness. Hi, yes, it's sabotage.
And she was so ready.
And every time she's about to... I see you.
And she was feeling him there.
She was ready.
What is up, everybody? It's
Why
your boy,
ex is so
Lil
jealous
Mos.
also? Like, you know, so she already she was like,
When time.
Just picture the ex looking at her like,
And then she's about...
oh, aye.
Let's go, and you're about to
And this is to all my beautiful ladies out there.
Oh, yeah.
Moses. Ma. Ma. Which beautiful ladies are you talking about? Mom, you're always appearing everywhere. Everywhere. Where? You're disrespecting me. I love you, mommy. Moses, cut the music.
And the glasses are
Which
here.
beautiful ladies are you talking about? I'm just saying. I'm just finishing. Right now. Now. Isn't it you want all the beautiful ladies? You're finished.
what are the ones who keep
A wooden
catching hands?
spoon. And it's a spoon. A wooden spoon.
No,
of
but
that.
Moses keeps catching hands. Yo. His parents he keeps catching hands.
Yo, that mom. Yo. Hi,
Which beautiful girls are
So,
let's go.
okay. All right. So clearly the jokes were not dry at all because we laughed a lot this time. There was a couple of jokes in there that were just, out of this world. But sometimes, why is his mom coming from nowhere also?
Can we please get this one? Yeah, Moses' name. The Moses guy. When God was making me, I keep procrastination. I tell you, check your man. Talent, cut, a drop. Patience, drop. Kindness, drop. But everything that's sabotage is like a whole jug. And then they run out of the jug, they get more water. I think it's procrastination. Why
do you guys think that God was procrastinating on some people?
No, like how when he's
like
making...
when he got to you, he was like, no, yes.
Yeah, it's like,
Give him hands. Give him hands. Why?
Let
He needs to walk as well. Okay, give him feet.
Just make him function.
Yeah, okay, he needs a talent. No, just let him go. Why must he... Just let him go. Why?
And then, some days he probably woke up and he was like in a good mood and was like, Yazin, I'm flange. everything in detail,
You
everything.
think maybe he procrastinated on you because he was making other people?
Yeah.
They're like, no, we need to help Mo. Like, wait, I'm not done with the Sunday.
Well, I thought you made it the other way, Mo.
Why would I make it the other way?